timing is so critical. If you miss your window, let's go down the road to a sidebar. That need does not equate to what we order, because I don't ever want to be out of DC. That's called gardening math, in case you have not taken the class, okay? If your summer garden has been less than stellar because you've been dealing with aphids, bugs, hornworms, and all the things, and you're about to give up on the garden, I don't want you to give up yet. I want you to plant a fall garden. If you have never thought about planting a fall garden, I thought that you couldn't, this is the video for you. I'm going to be going through the fall garden, what to plant, the timing, all of the things. I'm going to actually show you my seeds. We're going to go through seeds together. And so this is the video for you if you're even remotely interested in having a fall garden. I'm so glad that you stopped by my channel. My name is Barbara. I live in the state of Tennessee, and on this channel, I talk about all things homesteading with a special emphasis on gardening, food preservation, DIY, cooking from scratch, all the things. But in today's video, I want to invite the person that has had not so good of a summer garden, or the person who is tired of the heat, tired of the bugs, tired of the aphids, tired of the hornworms. I want to invite you to have a fall garden. And so stay tuned in this video as we kind of walk through the fall garden. And then also, this is a special invitation to join my fall garden blueprint workshop. Let me tell you about my fall garden blueprint workshop before we dive into this video. So I am doing a workshop live. It is virtual, so that means you can join in from anywhere, no matter what city, state, or country you're in. I'm going to be live to answer all your questions, but also teach you the blueprint to having a fall garden. I love a fall garden, and let me just tell you, fall gardening is easy street compared to summer gardening. And so I invite everybody, if you have never had a fall garden, you want to do it, you will see the major difference between gardening in the fall versus gardening in the summer. So when it comes to the Fall Garden Blueprint Workshop, it is going to be Sunday, July 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. That is a Sunday afternoon. Most people are at home relaxing by that time. And so I want you to join me virtually for the workshop. If you cannot join on that particular day, but if you register, you will get the 2-hour replay of the class. Now, everybody who registers also get a digital companion fall garden blueprint guide. It's 50 plus pages of everything that's going to be in the workshop, but it's going to be in print. It's going to give you a checklist and show you exactly what to do, how to do it, the things that you may or may not remember from the workshop. It's going to be all in that guide. It's a great resource for you to have, not just for now, but for every season to come after this. So I want to see you in the Fall Garden Workshop Blueprint. Please register in the link. It'll be in the first link in the comments. I want you to register. If you have questions about the workshop, put it down below. But everything that you have about the Fall Garden Blueprint, I'm going to answer in that workshop. Now, let's get into today's video. So today I am starting my fall seeds. And so one of the things that I always say is that timing is so critical. If you miss your window is missed, okay? If you miss your window, the window is missed. What people do, a lot of people, me included when I was new, you are waiting for the temperatures to feel like fall before you start your fall garden. If you wait until it feels like fall, you are absolutely too late. If you wait until you walk through Home Depot, Lowe's, or your nursery and see the first cabbage transplant for sale, you are too late. Let me just take a little sidebar. Let's go down the road to a sidebar. One of the things when it comes to gardening is that you have to know that you know about what to plant and when to plant when. That comes with time. So if you're a new gardener, you're learning. If you're a seasoned gardener, I hope that you already know or you are on the process of learning. Here's why I say that. If you go by what the big box stores are showing you, you will forever be planting stuff at the wrong time. I did a video, a reel earlier this year talking about, I was walking through a local nursery or a big box store, one of the two, and it was like, I think in April, and they were selling Brussels sprouts. Now, Brussels sprouts, for me in Tennessee, do not grow in April, okay? They take 120 days to grow, and they love cold weather. If I were to buy the Brussels sprout plant in April and put it in the ground, there is no cold weather in my area in the next 120 days counting from April, okay? And so just because they have it in the store does not mean that it's time for you to buy it and that's the time to plant. And so when you don't see collard greens until October and you try to go put that in the ground, that is too late to start your fall garden. I want you to think about when you go to the store in July and they already got Halloween stuff up. Now, you know that Halloween is not until October 31st because you know the calendar. It comes the same thing with gardening. They put stuff out when they want to sell it the best for retail purposes. That does not mean that the holiday is right here, okay? Same example. So the first thing we're going to do is get our fall seeds together, and we're going to start fall seeds. Now, I'm not going to go through great detail of me actually starting the seeds because you guys have seen me start seeds several times before. But what I am going to do is kind of instruct you on how to think about it, okay? So the first thing you want to do is just take an inventory of what you have, okay? So we're going to get my fall seeds out. We're going to go through the fall seeds. I'm going to walk you through the process that I use before I order seeds, before I start seeds, to make sure I have what I need. So let's get our seeds and let's get started. Okay, so for me, I keep my seeds in these containers. I've talked about it several times before, but in case you are new to gardening, you're new to my channel, you've never seen this, this is a photo bookcase, and I get it from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And so inside is designed for photos, 4x6 photos, but it works perfectly for seeds. And so inside of the case, there's 16, 8 on each side, cases that look like this. They're individual cases. You can put your seeds in there. It opens. And so if you want to just take your seeds that you're planting to the garden, in this case, it makes it very easy, and you can just put it back in there. And it's a way to keep your seeds organized. And so for me, the most part, this case is our fall seeds that I have in here. And so we're gonna go through and make sure that we have what we need. And so this is the first step when it's time to plan for my fall garden, is first I take an inventory of the seeds that I have. And then from there, I order what I don't have, and then I can get to planting. Okay, y'all, so I moved outside. If you haven't been here, y'all know we were battling the 40 days and nights of rain. Now we're on 50 days and nights of rain. So it started to get gray. And so I was like, let me go ahead and do this part first, which is the first step anyway. Now my husband has rushed back here to try to cut the grass before it starts raining. Y'all, it has been, when I tell you it's like when to jump into the jump rope, we're not going to complain. We like the rain, but my goodness, it has made it a challenge this entire summer. So some of my videos, you're going to see the grass is this tall. It's because it's been raining. We can't cut it. And then other videos, you're going to see my husband just zipping by in which I don't know if you can see him on this video. He is literally behind me or outside of the room mowing the grass because we're just trying to get it done. All of a sudden, the sky is starting to turn gray because it's supposed to thunderstorm in the next 30 minutes. So anyway, we're inside. We're covered. We're protected. But that's the reason why we moved outside, and that's the reason why you can probably hear the mower. I will try to mute it out as much as I can because he's literally right here. Okay, so I have all of my fall seeds here. And so one of the key things is knowing what to plant in the fall versus in the summer. Some of you have tried to do your collard greens, your cabbage, and you're like, the bugs got it by May or June. It's because the pest pressure is really high, and those particular crops do not do well in May and June, especially if you're in the South and it's very humid like here, right? Those plants are, they prefer cooler weather. Just like tomatoes prefer hot weather, there are certain crops that prefer cooler weather. And in my workshop, I go through all of the crops, herbs, vegetables, and flowers that are for the fall versus for the summer, okay? But now let me go through my seeds. So this is basically what I do, y'all. I'm showing you my exact process. It's not fancy. I go through, these are my Brussels sprouts. I make sure that I have enough seeds for the season, right? And so I have two packs for sure that are good to go and that are within like a reasonable date. And then I have some that are older, okay? And so for me, yep, the rain just came and he just got off of the mower. This has been every day. I think he got one side of our hill cut, and then he just got a little back there cut, and that was it. That was it. Okay, so I go through my Brussels sprouts, and There's 300 seeds in each pack because Brussels sprout seeds are very, very small. Now, for Brussels sprouts, one of the things I want to mention is that people love Brussels sprouts, but a lot of people have a hard time growing them because they don't get the timing right and because Brussels sprouts can take up to 120 days. That is 4 months, right? And so if you do not have, if you live in a climate where where it gets cold, your first frost comes early, or earlier than me, or you don't have a way or have not done season extension, then you may not be able to grow Brussels sprouts the right way if you don't get your timing right. Now, for most people, you should have already started your Brussels sprouts. You usually start your Brussels sprout seeds at the beginning of July. What that does is one, it's a small seed. It takes a while to grow. If you started the first week of July and you give it 6 weeks, right? That means you're putting it out into your garden the second week of August, right? So we're about a month in. So if it takes 3 more months to grow, that's September, October, November. Do you see how if you start much later than that, it's very likely you won't have Brussels sprouts, right? Because right now, if you started your seeds in the house at the first week of July, you're not going to harvest them until November, right? If you're in a climate where the first frost happens before that, or it gets really, really bad. Now, Brussels sprouts are good for cold weather. They can go out, if I'm not mistaken, I think they can go up to like 15 degrees. So it's not like if it's 32 degrees, they're going to die. They're not going to die. They love the cold weather. But again, if you're in a climate where it gets below that sooner or whatever, you don't have the timing right, then your Brussels sprout seeds are not going to be able to grow. Now, for me, I have a high tunnel. And so the things that I'm telling you in terms of timing, I am giving you for general public, meaning because a lot of people don't have greenhouses. A lot of people may not have a hoop house or a greenhouse to keep the plants. And so if you are gardening outside, your timing is what I'm saying, okay? Now, for me, it is the middle of July, and I'm just starting my seeds, but I will be okay because I have season extension, okay? I usually will not harvest my Brussels sprouts until January because I take a much later approach, a much slower approach. And for me, that's just because I'm waiting for my summer crops to get done before I uproot everything and put out my fall garden, okay? So that is the difference. But for the general public, if you do not have a high tunnel, if you do not have season extension, if you are going to be growing outside and you want to grow Brussels sprouts, just know they take 120 days. Okay. If you have questions about that, put that down below. But again, that's the purpose of the workshop, because I'm going to walk you through whatever crop you want to grow. And we're going to talk about best varieties, how long it takes to mature, when you should put it in the ground, and all of that. Okay. So I have Brussels sprouts. I'm good to go. And so then I'm going to go to bok choy. That's a favorite, making sure I have seeds. And it looks like I have plenty of seeds for bok choy. So if I have my paper here and I'm writing down what I need, I don't necessarily need bok choy. Now, we all know that need does not equate to what we order, because we are gardening, right? So if I see a bok choy that I want, your girl's going to order it, whether I need it or not, because I won't need it one day. You understand, right? You understand. That's called gardening math, in case you have not taken the class, okay? So for bok choy, I am good if I do nothing. Although, as I say that, I am going to write bok choy down because this variety is from Baker's Creek. And I have not grown that one before. That's not one that I normally grow. And so I want to get something that I've grown before. This one I did last year. It did wonderful from Vago Garden. But the one that I normally grow is from Johnny Seeds. And I only have a half a pack of that. So I may get some more bok choy. So for me, I'll put like bok choy, and I'll put the number 2, which means, girl, get you 2 more pack of seeds. That's what that means. Okay. So I'm going to literally go through all of my seeds and do the exact same thing. Okay, so I'll time lapse this part as we go through, and I'm just going to be taking notes on what I need to make sure that if I need to order something, I can go ahead and do that now. Now, again, for me, this step, I've already ordered seeds. Spoiler alert, and we're going to go through my seed haul. Spoiler alert. But I did those about a month or so ago because I had a general idea of what I needed. Plus, I saw some sales. This right here, again, I would normally do this part a month ahead. Like I would have done this 30 days ago and already ordered my seeds, and we would be good to start our seeds today. But because I know I have a little bit more time, it's okay if I order some seeds this week that I don't have and I start them in a week or two. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go through all of my seeds. I'll come back and let you know what the final thing is about what I feel like I need to order, what I have,
It is
what I
hard to
don't have, and then we're
believe
going to
that
go
we
through my
are
seed
starting
haul.
seeds yet again. Gardening is so seasonal, but yet it is cyclical, that it just keeps coming back around to the same thing each season. We start seeds, we put them out, we harvest, and we just start all over again. So this is the part of the season where I feel like I'm wearing two hats. I am tending to the summer garden, but I'm also looking ahead to the fall garden. And that's one of the keys of being a great gardener, is that you don't just live in the season that you're in, but you're always thinking about a season ahead so that you can be intentional, so that you can be prepared, and so that you can plan. And that is how you have, to me, the best success and the most abundance. So in the fall, when you planning out your stuff and you're harvesting, and then it starts to get cold, like in the winter, that's when we start to pull out our seed catalogs and we start dreaming and thinking about the summer garden. And then when spring comes, we're getting ready for the summer garden because we're planting our seeds. And so you're always thinking about a season ahead, as well as enjoying the season that you're in. So in this case, I go through every case, and surprisingly, I am pretty good on seeds. And you know what? Really, that shouldn't be surprising, as many seeds as I buy. I do give away a lot of seeds as well, but I also buy a lot of seeds. It's hard for me to see seeds and at least not go over and look and see what they have, even though I may have it. As a matter of fact, I was in Whole Foods the other day, and they had a Botanical Interest little rounder thing with a whole bunch of seeds on it. I went over there and only stayed for like 0.2 seconds. I was like, I don't need anything on this list, like nothing. They don't have anything new. Let me just keep moving. And that's what I did, but I at least had to go look. There's no way I'm gonna walk by it. Because yeah, that's just not what you do. But anyway, I go through all of my seeds and I see what I have. There's a couple of varieties that I particularly want that I don't have, so I'm writing those down just to make sure. And I'll let you guys know what the outcome is after I go through all these seeds and what I feel like I need to order, or feel like what I need.
Hey guys, let me pop in real quick and show you the new release that Greenstock has today with the butterfly pins. Actually, I think it released on yesterday by the time that you see this video. But I want to show you, they come in this beautiful little package, which I think is so cute. And then I have the assorted, so you can get them in evergreen or an assortment of colors. This is a set of 28 that come in this little resealable pouch, which is great. And then these are all of the colors. So the butterfly pins, people have asked me, what are they for? It is to help with your, in your green stalk with your strawberry runner. So you can just take the pin, instead of using a landscape staple, this is something cute and pretty that you can use for your runners on your strawberry plants in your green stalk. So they're having a sale right now. These are on sale. If you have an order over $75, you can use my code LFF10. And so go to greenstalkgarden.com if you want you some butterfly pins. And then I think the berry cups are on sale as well. So use my code LFF10 for an order of $75 or more. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, y'all, so I did my inventory and I am actually doing really, really well. There was not anything that I needed, except if I want to get a couple more bok choy. I have 2 bok choy. I got to find my beets, which I might not have any beets because y'all know I don't really do beets. But we have a love and hate relationship. I'm on again, off again. And I think this fall is going to be on again. I want to try beets again. If you're new here, I've never been successful with beets. Ever. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. So we're going to try it yet again. Do I even love beets? No, I don't even like them. I just want them for the beet powder because my husband buys beet powder and it's expensive and I want to be able to grow the beets myself. And you guys have told me that if I roast the beets, that I will like them. So I'm holding out on those 2 things. Trying to grow me some beets. Last year I didn't touch the beets because I was over it. I was done. This year I'm a little bit more open to it, but I don't even have any beets. So I need to go see if I have beets in another case. If not, see if I want to order some beets. But that can't be the only thing I order. I'm going to have to order something else. I just can't see myself placing an order and paying for shipping for some beets. Unless y'all want to send me a pack of beets. Y'all let me know. Okay, so beets, and then I wrote down broccoli. I have broccoli, but here's one thing that's the converse. I love broccoli. I have been semi-successful with growing broccoli. Last year, not so much, but the year before that, it did really, really well. I have tried tons of varieties. Last year I did Imperial because I heard that was a great one. It didn't do so great. So those are the seeds that I have. I also have another one called Calabrese, and then I have one called Rasmus, Rasmus. Y'all, drop your favorite broccoli variety down below. Drop your favorite broccoli, just because I actually love broccoli. So that's why I keep trying it year after year after year. I'm gonna keep on trying it until I get it, because I actually love it. I buy it every single week at the store. And so that's why I need to grow my own. So yeah, I need more broccoli according to again, I have broccoli seeds to plant. So if I wanted to plant some, I'm good, but I want to try some new varieties. And then carrots. I didn't see my carrot seeds, but they may be in another case. But let's go through the haul, because I probably already bought this stuff. I'm sure I did. So we will start with, y'all, I'll open my box. The first thing I see. Look at that. Do you see that? God be knowing. Look. See? Do you see what I'm saying? Already got some. So if you had a pack to send me and you already had the envelope sealed up with my address on it, you were about to send me some beets, thank you. I appreciate that. But your girl got some beets. Okay, so I have 2 seed hauls that we're gonna do. I have one from Johnny's, and we all know that Johnny's, their packets are boring, but Johnny's is my favorite seed company. Johnny's is not made or designed for the home gardener, it's designed for the market gardener. So they don't put an emphasis on pretty pictures. They're like, this is what it is, this is how you grow it, go forth and conquer, okay? So we're gonna do Johnny's first because the packaging is sterile. There's no pictures, but I'm gonna tell you what I bought, and then we'll go to Botanical Interests where we have pictures. Deal? Deal. Okay, let's jump into it. So for our seed haul, y'all, your girl needs some glasses. Don't make me get up. I know y'all done this before. We just gonna do this right here because I don't feel like getting up, going in my office, and coming back out here. Plus it's raining. So we're gonna do the best that we can. Okay, so for Johnny's on my seed haul. So let me tell you about, let me just go through it. So I have lettuce, red butter lettuce, and then I have summer crisp lettuce. So I got 2 new lettuces. I've done the red butter before. I have not done the summer crisp. That's a new one. And then I have here my carrots. So I already ordered my carrots, which I thought that I did. And so I do Bolero. It's a great storage carrot. That's the only carrot that I do. And I buy it in the pelleted form. So we have our carrots all ready to go. This, it does not say what it is, like the writing. I just got these seeds less than 30 days ago and the writing is already off. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to go through process of elimination and actually look at my receipt because I can't even tell what that is. Like it's already. So then I have a new cabbage called Tiara. I heard about this from Jill over at Whisper and Rillo. That's what she grows. And Jill is my girl. If Jill growing it, then let me grow it too. Tiara, it's a small personal size cabbage. Now, I love cabbage. I buy cabbage. I don't buy it every week, but that's just because I try to eat seasonally. And so I don't buy it every week. But before I started trying to eat seasonal and before I had a garden, I was buying cabbage all the time. So I like the bigger cabbages, but I thought I wanted to see how small and how personal it was, because that may be great for like a coleslaw when you don't want to use the whole cabbage. And so we're going to grow that. That's TR. I will do a couple of those. Kale, my favorite is winter board. I've grown it for the past 3 or 4 years. It is a curly type of kale. It does wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It is my favorite. And they had a new one out called Ruby Boar, which is like the red version of the kale. So we have those. And then this is our mystery woman. I got to go look up my receipt and see what the mystery one was. And then I bought a big old thing of these seeds right here. Did it say 5 million seeds? I think it does say 5 million seeds. 5M. That can't be 5 million. That can't be. Anyway, I bought a big one of these. This is spinach. Let me tell you about this spinach. When I first started gardening, I could not grow spinach successfully. It took me probably year 3, 4, 5, probably either year 3 or year 4 is when I finally got spinach. I think it was year 3. Year 4, Game Busters. I'm like, okay, I got it. And so this past year, I tried a new variety. When I tell you, it was the best tasting spinach I have ever had in my entire LIFE, my life. It was so good. The other ones have been good, but something about this particular spinach, y'all, I was eating it every morning for breakfast. It was so good. Like it was phenomenal. I was mad because I did not grow more. It is called Jerry Nook, Gerenuk. And one thing I do love about Johnny's, the germination rate is 98%, which means it's gonna germinate. Spinach normally takes 7 to 14 days to germinate. I keep my spinach, here's my spinach case. I'm about to go actually pop this in the freezer after this video. And I'll start my spinach seeds probably in a couple of weeks. But I keep my spinach seeds in the freezer because they need to go, well, I shouldn't say need to. They perform and germinate better if they go through cold stratification. Cold stratification is just a nice big long word that says, let it be cold first, and then you start to germinate the seeds and put it in the ground or start it as a seed, direct sowing or starting the seed inside. What it does is that because it thinks it's cold or it is cold, when you bring it out of the cold into a warmer temperature, the dormancy, the seed breaks through the dormancy, through the shell quicker, right? That's called cold stratification. And there are certain seeds that benefit greatly from cold stratification. Spinach is one of them. Spinach, lavender, and eucalyptus are the 3 that I always keep in my freezer so that it stays cold until I'm ready to start the seed, okay? But this particular seed, I told you that spinach can take 7 to 14 days to germinate. So that was my issue year 1 and year 2, is that it just took forever to germinate and that they were just not strong and healthy or whatever. This right here germinated in like 3 to 5 days. I told y'all last year on the video, so if you was here, you heard me say that. I could not believe it. But the taste and how it grew, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So that's why your girl got a big pack, because I don't ever want to be out of these seeds, okay? So that's our Johnny's haul. This is gonna go in the freezer. Okay, now let's do our seed haul from Botanical Interests. And I think I put this on my Instagram when they were having a sale. They had a 50% off sale, and y'all know Botanical Interests is one of my favorites. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't order a bulk of seeds from there, but I love their flowers. I mostly buy flowers from them, but I buy other stuff. But their stuff always has the pretty pictures. So let's get into it. The first one is Beet Touchstone Gold. So I bought the golden beets that you guys said. So we're going to start these and see if we have some success. And it doesn't have the germination rate on there. Then I bought some Feverfew, which is a summer plant. I actually have a Feverfew transplant that I bought from Azure Standard. So I have that in my garden right now. But I bought the seeds because I never tried that. So we'll have it in case we need it. Look, y'all, I got bok choy. So look, I can take that bok choy off my list. I had bok choy that I needed too. Your girl already knew. So I got 2 bok choy. This is a new variety I've never tried. It's called Choco. So it looks good. Yeah, so we'll do that. So I'm gonna put that to the side so I can put it in this case. And then they had lavender on sale. So it looks like I got 3 lavenders. The English Tall Vera. So that's gonna go in the freezer. So I'm gonna put this on top of the spinach. Then I got more cabbage. The Copenhagen. I usually so the Copenhagen and then the early Golden Acre are the two that I get. So we'll put the fall stuff right here. Lemon balm, because I needed some more. Of course, you do that in the summertime, but I got 3 lemon balm packets of seeds because I was completely out. I got rosemary because I was completely out. Holy basil because I've never had the seeds. I've only bought a transplant, and so I want to make sure that I have seeds for next summer. So I bought those on sale. I bought this one called the Cucumber Space Master. I heard a lot about that this summer from other gardeners, so I want to try that next summer. I could even try it this summer. I may put one of these in my green stalk because I still got time to do cucumbers. So that's the Space Master. More alyssum. Alyssum is a flower that you can grow in the fall and winter. It is very cold hardy, and so I will grow that. I got some more petunias because they were on sale, and I like these. I'm gonna try this next summer. Petite Charmer, so they're smaller, which is good. I have some petunias right now that I started from seed, and they're really big, and the blossoms are big, but they're just big, like they're just big. And so I wanted something a little bit more petite. And then I got this Zinnia Fireball blend. We have some of those in the garden right now that we just did on our second succession. They have not started, they're growing, but they have not bloomed yet. And then I got some pansies. I will do this for the fall as well. I will start some pansy seeds. Okay, so we got our things that are fall. We got our things that are summer. So we'll put those in their respective cases. And we have our things that's gonna go in the fridge or the freezer. So we are ready to go. So one more step. So the first step is as I take inventory of what I have, I make a list and I order what I don't have. I order the seeds, I go through my seed haul, and then the very next step is to plan what I'm going to start, when, and how many. Okay? And so for that, I've already done that step. And I only really use this for the fall because it's a lot easier for me and because I'm only working with one space. So if you are new here, I have 3 main gardening spaces, but in the fall and winter, I only use my high tunnel. I don't use my outside space because I can grow everything that I need for my family in that one space. And I can go into the high tunnel and be all cozy and protected instead of being outside in cold weather trying to harvest me some lettuce and cabbage. Okay, that's what I do. So because I only use that space, I use the Seed Time Planning app to plan my fall garden. Now, if you were with me in the summer, because I have multiple spaces and I'm doing multiple successions, I do it on paper and then I upload it onto my computer and then I have a printout because I'm doing multiple spaces, okay? And I need to be able to see visually where things are going and I have multiple successions. But for the fall, it's one space, and what I am battling is not the right word. What I have to consider in my case is that my summer garden in the high tunnel, because it's season extension, it is gonna keep thriving until. And so I will have to make a decision to rip out the summer stuff when either I've met my quota of what I need, I'm tired of it, or it's not performing in order to put my fall garden in. Okay? Because I will have, if I do nothing, the peppers will keep going until like November the 1st. If I don't touch them, if I don't rip them out, they will keep going. But once I reach my pepper quota, then I will be comfortable ripping them out even if they're still performing. Okay? Or I will adjust when I'm starting things and putting things in. So for me today, I'm not going to start all of my fall seeds. And that's one of the reasons I'm not going to show you all of me starting them, because I'm not going to start everything because I have a high tunnel, and because if I start everything now, I will not have space to put it all in. But if I was gardening in my outside garden for the fall, it would look a little bit different because the stuff outside, my tomatoes will start looking raggedy next month in August. They'll start to look raggedy, pull them out. And again, tomatoes, I have a whole 100-foot row. So if I pull out a whole 100-foot row of tomatoes, I got plenty of space to lay stuff out. It's not that way in the high tunnel. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I use the Seed Time Planning app. If you're not familiar with Seed Time, go to the link in my description. I have a link for it. It is free. They do have a place where you can pay to get more features, but if I'm not mistaken, the app itself is free. But you can kind of tell it what you want to plant. You can actually pick the variety that you want to plant, and then it will kind of give you a to-do list or a task list of all the things that you need to do and when you need to plant it. Okay, so I'll show you that next, and then we'll make sure that we know exactly how many of each thing we want to plant, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, guys, we're back outside. The rain has stopped for a little bit, so I'm jumping back outside. I already have my trays ready to go. Can y'all believe we're starting seeds again? It's that time. It is that time. So I wanted to tell you about seed time, or I did tell you about seed time. And here's a sample of the printout. Once you put your stuff in, you can go under task and print your kind of like your task to-do list. And so it tells you week by week what to start. It tells you when to prepare your beds. It tells you when to cultivate, when to harvest. So definitely, if you have not used the seed time planning app on the computer, I think it's even mobile. I don't ever use mine on mobile. I only use it on the computer because it's easier to see everything. Then definitely click the link in my description. It'll take you right to it. Okay. I highly, highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're a visual, especially if you like things electronically. It is a great way to plan your garden. Now, you can do it for the summer and for the fall. I only use mine for the fall just because I have so many spaces and it's better for me to do it the other way in the summer. But I like having options, okay? So it's telling me what I need to do, but I know what I'm going to do, okay? So the first thing is I already got my stuff laid out. I got some labels already made. And so what I'm going to start today are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and definitely lettuce, definitely those three. And so you will see here that I have the bigger 2.5-inch pots, and then I also have some 6-cell trays. The 6-cell trays, I'm actually going to be starting some more green bean seeds, and I'm going to put my lettuce seeds in there. So the green bean seeds, I have had much better luck with me actually starting my seeds and transplanting them out than actually direct sowing them. And so that's why I'm doing my green bean seeds, and I just need more. I'm doing a succession of green beans just about every 3 weeks or so. And then also the lettuce I'm using there, because the lettuce that I'm doing, I did mention one of the lettuces that I'm doing, the summer crisp that I talked about, it's called Gordini is the variety. It is brand new. It's supposed to be like a summer lettuce. So I'm actually experimenting. It's supposed to be very heat tolerant. So I'm going to experiment and do a few of those, and we're going to see. And then the red butter lettuce I know will work for the fall. So we're going to go ahead and start some lettuce in the smaller ones because lettuce is very shallow, and I can take that and take it directly into the garden. Because it is small, I can plop it in places, or I can put it in a grain stalk or something like that. The reason why I'm having the bigger ones for this is because I anticipate I want these to have more space to grow, and I don't want to have to go from the 6-cell and then up pot it to a 2-inch pot. One, because remember, we're in the throes of the summer. And so I'm thinking intentionally about how it's going to grow, and it's going to be in my house for about 6 weeks. And so I wanted to have enough space to grow. That's why I'm starting in the bigger pots. And I don't anticipate putting these things out until the end of August for the stuff that I'm going to be doing. That's like the Brussels sprouts and broccoli and things like that. Plus, it grows a little slower, so I want to give it more time. Okay, so that is what we are doing. So I am going to finish making my labels, drop some seeds, and then we will be on our way to fall. Now, this is just a tip of the iceberg, a beginning. This is not my big fall seed starting. I will do the rest of my things in about 2 to 3 weeks again, because I am staggering my harvest, because I know that I got to have space, and because I know my summer veggies will go long. But again, if you don't have a hot tunnel, your timing is going to be different than my timing. That's why it's really important that you get your timing right. And if you need help with timing, I encourage you to click the link below for the workshop. Okay. So I'm going to get all this situated. You guys have seen me start seeds before, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to get this done. You will see how my fall seedlings are doing as we go over the next few weeks on the video. But I want to just say thank you guys so much for joining me today as we got started thinking about fall. So we're dual brain. We're still in the throes of the summer, but we also have our attention to the fall garden, and we're going to do both in the month of July. So if you have questions about the workshop, if you have questions about anything that you see me doing here, or that I did, or the varieties on the seed haul, then let me know. And give me some tips for your best broccoli variety. Remember, y'all, this is all a journey. We are growing together. I'll see you next time, friend.
Thanks so much for stopping by our channel. And if you would, take a moment and go to our website at livingfoodsfarm.com. You can see all of the latest YouTube videos in case you missed one. You can subscribe to the channel, sign up for our email list, as well as join our YouTube membership. Also, we have many items for sale under the shop tab. You can go to kitchen or to skin and body, depending on what you're looking for. We source many of the items right here from things that we grow on the farm, or we buy from an organic source. We also have digital resources as well that you can instantly download. We have everything from seed starting calculators, how to build healthy soil, as well as 2-hour classes, replays on sourdough, canning, and fall gardening, and how to start your garden for the very first time. So go take a look, see if there's anything that you would be interested in, and thank you so much again for stopping by our channel.